Since the 1960s, media has played a large role in the area of politics. Starting with the Kennedy-Nixon election and up until today, various types of media have influenced the way politicians run their campaigns and the way people vote. Beginning with the televised debates in the 1960 election, the vote became ruled by image. There were 4 televised debates between John F. Kennedy and Richard M. Nixon. These debates provided the general public with a view of the candidates in terms of both political stance and appearance. The young, fresh-faced senator from Massachusetts appeared much more TV-friendly than the older, more worn-out Vice President Nixon. Through the television, Kennedy became much more appealing to the American people. These debates contributed to Kennedy's victory. He won 303 electoral votes, while Nixon only got 219.
1, 2, 3.
4 years later, in 1964, Lyndon B. Johnson released the famous Daisy Girl television ad. This ad was extremely influential in the election and is said by many to have been the deciding factor in his victory over Republican candidate Barry Goldwater.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
These are the stakes to make a world in which all of God's children can live, or to go into the dark. We must either love each other or we must die.
Vote for President Johnson on November 3rd. The stakes are too high for you to stay home.
Later on, biased media reports of the Vietnam War played a crucial role in the 1968 election between Nixon and Hubert Humphrey. Reports influenced voters one way or the other, which caused skewed views of what was actually happening. In 1972 through 74, the Watergate scandal broke. Not only was the nation's capital in turmoil, but people worldwide heard of the huge political disgrace taking place. The negative media directed at President Nixon eventually contributed to his resignation from office. By the 1980s, Republicans were leading Democrats by using computers to aid in direct mail campaigns. This allowed them to target specific voter demographics in order to more effectively campaign. This also led to redistricting of legislative boundaries. In the 1990s, the World Wide Web came to light, giving people a wealth of information at their fingertips. For the first time, this allowed voters who had never even watched TV or read a newspaper to research backgrounds on various political figures and candidates easily. Additionally, the introduction of cable news stations led to significant media biases. For example, Fox News is well known to be a conservative news station, while MSNBC is known to lean to the left.
Again, I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
By the mid-90s, there was an atmosphere of scandal associated with politics, the most famous perhaps being President Clinton's affair with intern Monica Lewinsky. The story was eaten up by all kinds of media and quickly spread across the country. Much of this media attack still affects the public's views and opinions of Clinton today. By election night of 2000, the race between Republican candidate George W. Bush and Vice President Al Gore was too close to call. Even so, by 7:50 p.m. that night, NBC had called it. Al Gore won. ABC, CBS, Fox, CNN, and the Associated Press soon followed suit, until CNN retracted its prediction around 10, as did the rest of the networks. Finally, around 2 the next morning, Fox announced Bush had won in the state of Florida, and every network except Associated Press echoed their call, despite the fact that the race was so close it led to a recount. The media stations had become so competitive that they were nearly fighting to get the news out, despite possible inaccuracies in their information. But along with the turn of the century came all sorts of new technology. More families had computer and internet access than ever before. The World Wide Web was thriving. This became a useful tool in the 2004 and 2008 campaigns. Democrats in particular took advantage of various social media outlets, including Facebook, MySpace, YouTube, and other social networking sites. In 2008, Democratic candidate Barack Obama used the internet and social media to organize a huge grassroots campaign. This contributed to his victory over John McCain. By 2012, both Democratic and Republican candidates have their own Tumblr blogs and Twitter accounts, keeping supporters updated.
People who've worked hard, started a business, and created jobs can't believe what President Obama's saying about them.
If you got a business, you didn't build that. Somebody else.
Following the Citizens United ruling of 2010, private companies are allowed to donate unlimited amounts of money to campaigns, as opposed to backdoor support as they had used in the past. This has led to political action committees, such as Karl Rove's Crossroads, coming to the forefront in the campaign, releasing negative, usually exaggerated ads all over the television and internet. These ads have led to more negative views on both candidates than to positive views on either, and the results of these ads have yet to be seen.
Somebody else made that happen.
To rebuild the American dream, we need a president who believes in the American dream.
Even before the first televised debates in 1960, media has played an enormous role in the way political campaigns are run, as well as the way people view their leaders. Politicians are under the constant lens of the media, which has the ability to distort the truth and blow details out of proportion. In today's world, a politician could make or break his career in an instant with the help of magazines, newspapers, television, and the internet.